Good afternoon everybody, and how are you? My name is Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business called a Flower Patch. And at the Flower Patch I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements, from door wreaths, door swags, things for your home, things for your garden, weddings, funeral tributes and much more. Right, today guys, before I start, I just wish to welcome all the new subscribers from like Texas, America and places like that. Welcome to you all. It's lovely to have new subscribers join me in making my videos and helping to inspire you to create something beautiful. Right guys, I had another on my business account last night. After tea I was going through all my paperwork and my invoices, and I went on to my business account and spotted an email from a lovely lady, and her name was called Lucy. So Lucy asked, well, basically said she has got a thing about astilbes, the flower astilbe, and if I could just do an arrangement with astilbe of all colours, or a majority of different colours, not just one. So I mean, I've got yellows, I've got purples, whites, creams, pinks, etc, etc. She did say, when she watched a video and I was showing the room how I've changed it now with all my racking system, she spotted on the door as we was going round this which I did have an arrangement in it. I have taken it apart and I left it hanging on the door with the actual shutters open, wondering what to do with it. So she said, because she noticed it wasn't nothing in it, could I do something in that? So we will. She didn't specifically state what colour astilbe, she just loves astilbe. In her garden, majority of her plants are astilbe. So she did ask for some foliage as well. She didn't specify what type of foliage, just some foliage to go with it to make it look beautiful. So that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do an arrangement with astilbe. But let me just say, I'm going to use moss today because I've placed in the foam at the bottom. I'm going to pin moss down on top. I'm not taking the foam out to put wreath wrap on. I'm just going to use moss, and the moss that I use, for all you new beginners who don't know what I do, I use, oh it smells divine, fresh reindeer moss. That you can buy Spanish moss, Norwegian moss, you know, things like that, and I buy it in big bags or boxes it is now, and I buy it in those, probably about 5 kilogram big boxes full of them. But I tend to wait till I'm nearly empty, which this is all I've got left. So when I'm virtually empty, I will order a big bag. It doesn't take long to arrive, so I use that, and I place it in a container sealed, so it stays as it is. Right, and what we're going to use, or we may use, it all depends on what looks nice with the astilbe. I've just got out, just in case, because of the bigger leaf, from what I've got, our eucalyptus, my favorite, the silver dollar, which is, oh, the best you could ever get, I think, in eucalyptus, but I love it. So we've got a couple of stems of them. Again, we may use them, we may not use them. Now I have got out, oh, and bear in mind on this project as well, on the foliage, I have used my oddments. The majority of them are oddments like these. So I have placed new picks in them all before I started the video, so I haven't got to do it while we're doing the tutorial. So I have got my variegated ivy, or mixed ivy as you may know it as well. And I've got my oddments here before I start the new stems of my rubber textured fern, my favourite, from the company called Leaf in the UK, the Himalayan maidenhair fern. Now I've got the light colour and the dark colour, because I may mix them together so it gives off that, looks like they're just growing before they turn to the natural dark green colour. So I'm trying to give that effect. And I've also got my oddments. I've got a lot of this. My fiddlehead fern, one of my other favourites, with curly swirly fern, and they're only where they've been cut off the main stem, and because the stems were short and they had a leaf down the bottom, I cut the leaves off and pulled the leaves off and placed all these little leaves on their own stem as well. So waste not, want not. So we've got those also. Now these, I've got out some of my vine. What is this? No, I think this is the oriental ruscus, guys. Yeah, it's the oriental ruscus. It's wired all the way to the top so you can manipulate it. And I was thinking about just going around and using it to go in and out or hang above the shutters and things like that. And I found out what these are. I've ordered these but without the flowers. You know the ones where I said the twiggy, and I love these? Well, they do some without flowers, so I've ordered, this is just one bunch I've ordered, so this is not oddments. They come this length, but these haven't got the flowers. And I have finally realised what they are called. They are the lotus leaf. Why didn't I remember that? So, the lotus leaf, very twiggy. As you know, that's my sort of style, and I love things like that. So we're going to incorporate some of that as well. So that is all our foliage. Again, we may not use it all. So now I've got some offcuts in astilbe that I had placed in a bucket, and these are what was on a vine. So I've got some white, some pink and some lilac. So I'm going to use these, and they've got their own foliage with them. I'll just bring them up. They've got their own foliage, and we're going to incorporate, and these are all seeded. So I'm going to use all seeded astilbe. Yes, it is. And I want to give off a look. Now, I've never done just an arrangement with just astilbe by itself, so this is new for me, but I love a challenge, so we're going to give it a go. So I've also got, now I've got 3 colours of this. Is it 3? Yes. Now this is just astilbe. These are new. These have just come on as they are. There's no foliage. They're just the plain stem. And I've got them in the dark purple. As you see, the seeds will come off as we use them. Very bitty. I've tried to sort of like pull them out, but as I pull them out, they will just fall. The seeds just come off. So I've been sort of like trying to manipulate them slightly. So I don't want to do much with them. You can, because they are all like, seem to be like either glued together, or I'm not sure. They didn't look like this when I ordered them on the online, but they never do they? So, but I don't mind, you know, if I can sort them out and make them look even prettier, then I'll do that. So we'll just, as we go along, we'll just pull them slightly apart, give them that open, so they look like they're opening, because at the moment they look flat and closed, and we want a bit of bounce and a bit of volume like that. So we'll do that with these as we go along. So I've got the dark purple, I've got the pink, and then I've got the baby pink as well. So that we may use those. I'm trying to use purples and pinks and whites, so it's not, and I'm not bringing yellow into it, because I want to keep to this colour scheme. If I add yellow, it will just, everything will be focused on that yellow, because it's odd. It won't look right all together. So we've got those. So now I've got some white ones with their foliage. These are very bitty. Very bitty, guys. Oh, one's come off a bit stem. Let me just place that back up. So let's just open them up. But these are lovely. The foliage with these are lovely. And you get three heads on one stem. So in total you get 15 heads of astilbe on one bush or bunch. You can see where they've all been sat together in the packet. So I've got the white one as well. Now I've also got it in dark purple and lilac, a mix. So we've got those also to use along with the pinks, like so. So I've got another one of those out in case I need another one. I like to keep them bagged up, guys, because they are very bitty and they get everywhere. And then I've also got, I just get one out of these as well. Now this has got a bit of white foliage on with a bit of heather incorporated. Now this is a darker pink with a different foliage, but again white foliage. You could keep it on, but I think or take it off. I may keep it on to lift the arrangement up. So we've got all of that, and plus with them being a bit longer, we will add that movement around here. So they are all the colours of the astilbe I'm going to use in today's project. Aren't they just wonderful? And then obviously the small oddments to go in. I'll place those there as well. Isn't that divine? So again, I've got 2 of these. I'll keep in the bag until I need them. So I'll just place that there. I'll place all these together in one bag while we're placing the foliage in, because again, very bitty. I can't even see where it's oh, I'll make my own oil. So keep those together. We'll place those in. So it's another rainy day here. Oh yes, Sandra, I don't envy you, darling, as well. It's rainy where you are, cold and wet. It's the same here. But I went and took Benji a walk again this morning. We went on a longer walk actually. I took my son, my autistic son. It's his day off of work. Oh well, he's got a week off. So I decided to drag him all. He's going to be coming with me all week. He moans, but then when I tell him and I say, come on, we're going to take Benji. But as soon as we go and pick Benji up, when I say you can hold him, ooh, he's all happy. So he loves it really. So as you can see, seeds everywhere on my mat. But don't worry about that, guys. A sweeping brush can get that up. Right, so before we start, let me push those down there. And we are going to use our moss. I may have to do it this way, just so you can get in. Oh, I've got my cup of coffee. So I'm not going to make, you know, because there's about an inch or half an inch dip where the foam's gone in. I'm not going to bring the moss up to the top. I'm just going to place it on like so. Let me just move this out of the way. Oh, it's very messy as well. Let me just lift my sleeve up. And I'm just going to, I'm keeping the shutters closed on this one. I think the other arrangement I did with it, there was open. I'm just going to place it on like so, because it's a big area. I like to put plenty on, and one of these I like to cover, you know, where I can see the foam. It's very bouncy, the moss that I buy, so, and it smells beautiful. It's not artificial, it is real. So if you do place it outside, it will weather and it will, you know, perhaps turn yellowy colour. Right, I've placed that on. I've not put pins in as yet because I just wanted to place in the moss first. Let's get a few pins. And now I will just place in randomly where I think it needs a moss pin. If you haven't got your moss pins, guys, get something like your floral wire. Just cut a little piece off at the bottom, about 2 inch, bend it over in a U shape like so. So it's like that, and then you dip that in the glue, and then place that in instead. And that's if you've run out of the U pins or floral pins. Some people have different names for them. We call them here moss pins. Some people call them floral pins, and some people just call them U-bend pins. But, you know, they're all the same. They all do what they should do. They're all for the same reason, so it doesn't really matter what we call them. So I'm just placing this in to hold down my moss. And as you can see, there's a little bit higher there, so I'm going to place one down there to keep that secure. And I'm just working my way right to the other end. And I'm pushing it right down. I could put glue on the other end of these, but again, if I decide I want to take this arrangement apart, then I won't have glue and have a bit of a problem getting them out, or the glue sticking to the moss. And we need a little bit of moss just around there. I did see a bit here as well. So yes, this is all you do, just to keep in your moss, like so. Some people don't put a lot of pins in. I like to make sure it's secure. So again, if you just joined me and you didn't see, just cut about 2 inches off your floral wire. And if you've got, you know, you've got problems, health issues with your hands or your thumb and finger, like arthritis, and you can't bend it over, just place it over your clippers, push it down like so until you've formed the U shape. And again, then just either dip it in your glue or don't have any glue on, it's entirely your decision, and place that down like so. Or use a pencil, if you've got a pencil or a pen, to wrap the wire down to make the U shape. Just, you know, in case you do have health issues with your hands. So let me just close that now, we don't need any more. So we'll place that out of my way. I like space. Oh, coffee. I can't forget the coffee. I've still got those hanging baskets to do, guys. I haven't started them yet. I will. That was one of my plans today. And this can also be hung on a wall. It's got 2 hooks at the back here to place on an outside wall or on your inside in your house, wherever you'd like it, or even if you've got a greenhouse and you'd like it to be inside there, or a summer house, anything like that, or outside on a summer house on the wall. You know, it would look lovely anyway, especially with it being that chalky effect, where it looks worn, and I love that effect. I did place this on last time. I may have to re-stick that or place another piece on, but I know I'd have to peel off glue behind it, so I will do that, sort that out after. So let's get started. Right, first of all, I want the vine. And they're not very long. I've cut these up. These ones are oddments as well that I cut off the main stem. I was doing something for a customer and these was what I had left. So let's see, we'll use this one. So the stems are shorter, they're usually down here, so we will have to incorporate it some other way, or even extend it by placing a pick on it, if that's what we'd wish. So again, I am keeping this closed today on this occasion. I'm going to let one of them lean forward. Again, I don't like everything flat. I know it's a vine, but it doesn't mean to say it's got to sit flat. If you see vines that are growing up trees or on walls or anything, you have the strands coming away from it, growing out, because they've not attached themselves to the wall or anything. So I'm mimicking that. So I just like to get it, you know, a bit on the natural side, natural looking side. So I'm going to do one here as well. With the longer one, I will incorporate that and bring that around there. And I have a shorter one here. I will bend inwards. Oops. I've opened the door. I must be careful with pushing that. So yeah, and then with this one I'm going to place in the center. So then I've got my 3 odd vines all together growing up the front of the shutters, like so. And again, you can mimic these, you can bend these however you wish. Give them a little bend in the stem instead of them being just straight. Give them that natural bend. Like so. So like that. Now we have our lotus leaves. Now I finally know what they are. Oh, Twiggy. I love Twiggy. Now these are also wired. Some haven't got leaves on, but you may think, oh, I'm going to chop that bit off. It doesn't look, it looks like something's dropped off. But that is basically another piece of twig growing off the side of this stem to the point where it's going to grow another leaf. So that's how I incorporate and how I see it. So then I just put a little bend on it so it doesn't look too straight, so it just looks like that twigginess. Instead of having it like that straight out, I just bend, put the odd bend in and place it like so, just so it looks like you've got a twig growing off and it's about to grow another leaf on, and which we call in the real flowers, when I did, that is your main stem going down the center. Now these that are coming off of the side are called nodes. So if I ever said I'm going to cut to the next node, I always start from the top and cut down to the next node. So if I decide I only want these top 2 leaves, and then I'm going to say, right, I'm going to cut at the next node, I work from the top downwards. So then I would cut after the top 2 leaves to the next nodes that are coming off of the side of the main central stem. But I don't want to get too formal because it can confuse some people. So basically I like to keep it, you know, simplified for people, especially beginners. So I just say I'm cutting off, you know, down this way, and I'm going to just leave two leaves on, and then I'm going to cut it. You know, I can get, if I wish, but I'm not going to. It's not fair, I don't think, especially on new beginners. I like to not confuse people. So we've got one here, and I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to maneuver and manipulate it once I've placed it in. So I'm going to bring that at an angle because I don't want everything just here. And I'm going to do the same with this one, and this one's just slightly shorter. I've bent the little twiggy bits, what I've got no leaf on, just to give them that natural look again. And bring your leaves into however you'd like them to look. Let me just turn that. I could actually leave that one up high, so yeah, we'll leave that one at the length it is. I'm going to place that one in the corner, and I'm going to bring some of this vine around it, so like the vine has caught onto it and is growing around. And again, just bring some of the leaves in and some out. So we'll do the same with this one. Sorry if I'm chewing gum again, guys. It's just that I've been out with Benji. Every time I could take Benji a walk, I always place gum in my mouth. So like that. I don't want to overload it with the lotus leaves because we've got plenty of others. So we'll place these out of the way. I do have some what I placed under there. I did think, well, we'll use willow, but I'm not sure, so I placed it under there just in case I change my mind, guys. So that is that. Again, I may not use it all. So doesn't that look nice and pretty? Now fiddlehead fern, I want to bring some out here lower down, and also I want some higher up as well. Again, because it's a twiny fern, I want it to look like it's incorporating itself within our arrangement, and also winding its way around up as well. And I'm going to place some in here as well. I don't put too much. When you're using moss, I don't put a lot of glue on the bottom of my stems, as you may see, because if you pack it with glue, you place it in, the glue is going to attach to the moss before, because you're going on the moss first as you're going down, so it will attach itself to the moss before it goes into your foam. So then you'll hardly get any glue in the foam, so I don't place too much on. And again, you can manipulate these. We'll have the other one coming out here as well. Just look. Again, I'm not going to use all of these. I'll bring one on this corner at the front. And I'm just going to lean it over. I've got one by itself, so I may incorporate that there. Who knows? We'll save these. Like that. I want to save the leaves that I've taken off of these at the bottom. I may use those as filler. So we'll put those there. Let's just have a look. What did I put there? Right, we've got some of our fern. Again, there's going to be a lot of wispiness. I don't even think, if I'm looking at it rightly, guys, that, let me just, oh, I don't know now. Let me just cut one stem off a moment. And just manipulate this also. I don't need two, I know that. I'm going to cut just these off. And I may cut these into smaller pieces. But with our fern, I want to incorporate that as well to make it, give it that wispiness, because all our, like, I mean, it's not going to be the bunch like that. I will chop them up with here. So I don't want to, you know, we're going to be able to cover this space here. So again, I'm not placing too much glue. Oh, I've just caught that. And that's leaning over, so I'm going to just bring that up a bit, like so. So I'm wiping some of the glue off from the side of my glue pan. going to bring one out here as well. I will cut this one down. Just lean it over like so. Now I'm going to incorporate a few darker ones. Cut. I don't just want the light coloured ones. I'm going to place one at the front, and then because it's sticking up with the wire leaning on the wood, I just put my finger on the wood and bend the wire over the wood, and then that's how you'll get it to lean over. If you don't want it like that and you want it just lifting up, just bend the wire back into shape how you'd like it to sit. To place one with the light coloured one, I'm going to bring it further down, and I'm going to bring one across here, but bring this one further down as well. So I've got different heights of the fern as they grow in different stages. I always keep in mind of how plants grow in different stages. Some grow quicker than others, even if it's the same plant. I've got the same plants. I've got hostas on my garden. I've got some that have already grown, and there's some that are only just coming up through the ground, and they're both the same brand of hosta, you know, the name, but some have just come quicker than others. So that's all I'm trying to do, mimic that. I'm going to place a small one and cut it really small with the lighter colours, and I'm going to place one here, and then one here. So it's very wispy. There's a lot of wispiness there. There's no really, if you look at it and think, well, there's not really any full leaves incorporated into it. There will be some fuller leaves, you know, especially like we've got these where they are fuller, where I'll bring around the front so you can see some. On the odd one I will, you know, just have higher up also. But I want to just get the eucalyptus, and let's just have a good look at that. Again, I don't want this really torn. No, that's too tall for me as well. I just want some of these at the back. Wonder if I just have the smaller ones. I'm going to place this one under this fern here, just so it's got a little bit of a fuller leaf, and I'm going to cut this down as well. I don't want them really high, because I want these to stay high. I want you to be able to see those again. Place one here as well. It may be hiding slightly behind there, but that's okay. That adds to the natural effect. I'll bring the odd one around. Again, I don't want too many of these. Just bring it there and just bend just lift that up, bend it. Just see what it looks like behind there, a smaller one. Yeah, we'll just add the smaller one right at the bottom, at the back. Again, something growing at a slower pace, but we don't want to see too much of it. Just incorporate it within. So you've got that. So I'm not going to add any more because it's quite big. I want to get onto, I'm not going to add any more of those ivy. I'm going to hang on to these, the ivy, and I'm going to hang on to those as well. So let's start with our astilbe. Right, which one did I say? Right, that I've got out. I've got one of those out. They're my oddments. So those. Wow. Is anybody else a fan of just astilbe? Mind you, there's some people who are just like one certain flower. I like all flowers. Working in the floristry, you know, in the real flowers and things like that, I do like all different types of flowers. Overall, my most favourite is the ranunculus. But then when I do say, when I'm working along, oh, I do like that, oh, I love that, I love that. You know, things like the Veronica and things, I love that. I can't make my mind up, there's that much of a choice. It's just wonderful. I find flowers, whether they're artificial or real, very harmonic, very relaxing. I'm just trying to part some of these little seeded bits on the astilbe, so I've done that. I've done that because they're flat and I want them like that. So I'm just the little bits pulling them down just slightly because they all, some of them are glued to each other. So I'm just trying to open them up from being glued to each other. I could use a steamer, but I'm not sure what if the steamer would melt the little seeds because they feel like polystyrene. So I just don't want to take that risk. I'll have to try it on an oddman one day and see what it actually does. Well, they are quite fiddly. As you can see, those seeds are dropping. Just open some and squeeze like that. Because we don't want them looking flat. We want that volume. We want, you know, we want to give it that natural look. I do have astilbe what's feathery like, but they are quite big. Oops. So I don't want to incorporate those. They are in white, but I've got them with the feathers over there. But they are, like I say, really quite big, and if I incorporate those, they're going to just take over. So I'm using the smaller headed astilbes with the seeds. I've got a clump here that's all together. I can't get this clump apart without probably pulling one off. Let me see if I can cut it down the centre. Yes, they're very fiddly. I should have done this before. I didn't, you know, I didn't realise how much they'd be stuck together. So sorry guys. I'm trying to work at my quickest. Right, we've got a great clump at the top. So I'll leave that clump there. So then that's all the pink. Oh, I've done that one. That's all the pink ones. It's only on these ones without the, I think, without the foliage. I think that one's not too bad. All I'm doing is just bringing them down, pulling them down from the top and bringing them down like so. And if some are stuck together, I'm just pulling them off of each other. I have to keep an eye, listen out on the phone, guys. Unfortunately, my mum's in hospital. She's not very well. She's quite poorly. Yeah, she's in the past, about 3 years ago, she had an open heart surgery on a aortic valve. It wasn't working properly. It wasn't pumping blood to her heart properly, so they had to do a heart operation. Now they've found another hole on her other aortic valve because her heart beats only at 45%. It's a big operation. She's diabetic, which doesn't help. She doesn't smoke. That's a benefit. None of us in our family smoke. I mean, we used to when we were younger, but we try out, don't you, when you're younger? Yeah, they found another hole. I don't mind sharing this with you guys. So she may have to also have another open heart surgery, which she's not looking forward to. And then they've also her kidneys. She's, I think they say when they in the UK anyway, when they get down to 9, they do it by number. When they get down to 9 and below, then they need a kidney transplant. Last year, my mum knew she'd got her kidneys weren't functioning correctly for a few years. She's known that. She always has to go to the renal for checkups. It's a regular thing. She's been and they've done a test again this time, and it dropped from last year to 13 down to 9. So they are deeply considering giving a kidney transplant as well. She's very confused. She can't understand how she got in hospital. She's on a ward. She doesn't know how she got to the ward. She won't. My mum's very old-fashioned. She won't bother anybody. She'll wait for them to come and check her, or if she's in pain. She's not one of these who'll say, "Doctor, I'm hurting, you know, I don't know what's wrong, something's not right." She'll put up with it. She will put up with it, and I keep telling her, "Mum, you can't keep doing that, because one day you're going to do something and you'll be in that much pain. Who knows what's going to happen? You need to let the doctors know if you're not well." So she's one of these, "Oh, well, I don't want them to fuss over me, you know," and I try saying to her, "But it's your life, you know." And she'll say, "Well, I'm not ready to go yet." Well, if you're not ready to go, Mum, then, you know, please let the doctors know. But she's very old-fashioned like that. She doesn't want them to think she's a burden, so to speak. So yes, she lives with my sister, which is a benefit. a great benefit. She did live here until she moved in with my sister, which is over an hour and about an hour and a half away from where I live now. My mum used to only live up the road, and I used to care for my mum for 27 years. But then she moved in with my sister, who lives an hour and a half away. So it's not like I can just get to my mum straight, you know, get in the car and drive up the street. I can't. So my sister has to care for her now. So my sister's keeping me informed, as she does. We are very close. So yeah, she's going to see my mum today, and she's going to talk to the doctors, and then she's going to ring me to inform me of what is going to happen and what they are planning to do. So she's got an infection as well. That's probably why she's confused. So yeah, so she's not well. But my mum's a fighter. My mum's a fighter. So yes, I'm just keeping an eye out for the phone. I mean, she's not old. Well, I say she's not old. She's not old, but she's not young. She's 79. That's not old to me. My granny lived till she was 91, and my great granny lived till she was 103, and that's my mum's side of the family. So I think I've got great expectations that my mum's going to survive to that age too. So I've just got to be realistic. So anyway, let's crack on with this and make something beautiful. So now I've potted all of those, which they look better now and fluffed. The ones with the foliage I want to bring around the front, so I'm going to keep those away for the moment. These ones that have also got the foliage, but they are taller. Well, I say taller, they're around the same size, but I like the movement on those. I want to bring some of these around the back. These are some around the back, some around the centre, and the odd one shorter, cut shorter around the front. So when I cut these, they will be shorter. So let's just get some of these big tall ones where, let me see, yeah, I'm going to bring these around here. So I'm going to do perhaps maybe a little cluster. Let's just see, I don't know, we may part them. Let's just see as we go along. We're going to do a little cluster, not a little cluster, sorry. Place one in between the foliage. I'm placing it there because I want the foliage to look like it's grown around the floral as it's hanging over or from the back of the arrangement. I don't want it to again look like it's all flat and then you've just got your floral on show in front. I like to do the mixture to give it that. And I'm going to place another one here, but I'm bringing this one slightly further down. But because that's gone back towards that, I can either leave it there, which I like space between each floral. So I'm just bending the head a little bit so that looks like it's coming outwards. And that's what I like to do with my stems. And again, I'm going to place another one, different colour with this, just slightly, not as much, you know, down. And then I'm going to do it the same, bring one. If I do it there, I'm going to bring one at the back. Because again, I like things floral to bring them around the back as well, even if it's right at the back. Because some people, when you have something, they'll go, oh, and they want to look around it, and then they'll spot, you need them to spot a bit of colour around the back. You don't want them to just think, oh, there's a flat piece there, it's just leaves from the foliage. You want to also incorporate your colour, even if it's a minimal amount, at least you've got that little bit of colour at the back. Now I'm going to cut this one shorter, and I'm going to place that lower than that one here. And then I've got the darker pink. As you can see, I'm working in threes at the moment. I may add another 2 of each colour. I'm not sure. We'll just play it by ear. Now this one's coming here as well, so we've got a different variety, and I've gone smaller than that one. So I've created, as you can see, the triangle here, but that one is smaller than that, so that is, so this is how I do my arrangements. I bring one taller at the back so you can see it. You can see what's at the back. Then I bring one just slightly further down from the back one so you can see on the second level. And then one smaller at the front so you can see on the third level at the front. So the back is always my first level. So I bring them down like so. Now I've got one here I want to bring right in this corner here. So that is just going off to one side. I may bring another purple in, small, and I've cut this even smaller on the stem to place that just hanging over the edge like so. So let's just have a look. I think I could, where is it? Bring another pink, a darker pink in the centre. I'm not going to cut the stem on this. I want the length, but I'm going to go just slightly there, so it's slightly higher than this one. So there are your astilbes, what I'm going to use of them as of yet. We've got plenty more. So I'm going to cut these. These are shorter. The foliage on these are push-ups. I like to bring the foliage up to the top so I get the most out of it, and plus it adds more interest. Because once it's down at the bottom, it's hidden. You're not going to see it. So bring it up and add something different and a different texture to the foliage that you tend to look at the top. So I brought that one down. I keep sliding off my chair. I'm just parting them slightly. Again, I could place these on picks and make them longer. I might do that with the odd one, they are quite small on the stem. I'm going to place one at the front, lean that over like so. So if I just get my picks, pull one off, and all I do is take all the leaves off where it is. And just cut that thicker piece of the, so I take them off. I look how I've taken them off, how they come off in order. So that came off first, then it was that one, and then obviously this is glued on. So I use my bent nose pliers to hold the pick that these come on and pull it off. Then I get my own pick, dip it in my glue or use your glue gun, place it in the hole at the bottom, wipe any excess glue off, we don't want that seen, and then I place these back on in the order they came off. So then I've created a taller stem So I can place this then somewhere a bit higher up, so I could bring that across here. So we'll place that there. So if I just turn it around so I can lean it like so. And that's what I like to do with some of the things that I have. If I want that flower, but I want it higher up, then I would remove it from the pick that it's come on, or the stem, and I will place on my own. Oops. Let me just get these to help push it in. Oh my goodness, I've bent it. That's that. So then it was that. And then it was that. So then and you can do that if, let me just see, when you've been cutting, oh gosh, when you've had a bunch of something like this and you've pushed them all up, but you've not used the whole of the stem and you've cut around here, whatever's left, or if they're longer and you haven't got any picks, chop them off of that bit and use those as your length for your picks. If you don't buy them like I do, or if you've got thicker floral wire, you can buy thicker floral wire as well. You don't have to have what I have, 22 gauge. You can buy it thicker. Use those, buy a bunch of that and use those as your picks. You can get them in different lengths, and instead of buying, what I have. And that will also be nice, and helpful for you to, if you haven't got those sort of picks, what I have. Incorporate that within. Right, I might use this last one. Don't know what it's got on it. And fluff it up. I'll bring that one out at the side there. So then that's all of those ones used. So if I just turn it so I can see. So you've got all those now in there. I'll save that back. Now I've got the same with the white ones, because I do want to add white. I do want that little bit of, brightness into it. Let's have a look. Look how pretty the white brings it out. Doesn't that look lovely? So again, I want to place some, these are quite long, that's quite a long one. So is that. So I think I may, yeah, I'm going to bring that there. And just let that hang forward. I'll get a smaller one. And just open it up. And be careful when you're spreading them, because the stems where the astilbe itself is on have not got wiring. So sometimes I just press them lightly just so they're open, just to give them a bit more of, you know, interest. So I'm going to place that one coming out there, like so. I may place these on pins. 1, 2. Got one here. I'm going to bring this one also down here. I want a bit of white down here as well. So I want, we'll just cut those off. So we're going to place these on picks as well, longer picks. So I want some white at the back, and, you know, taller. One. Oh, 2 of them have popped off. Let me glue those back on. So just dip that, or use your glue gun. La da da da. Dip it in your glue pan, or get your glue gun. Put a bit of glue on the bottom, and then place it back on so it sticks back on. And again, take off any excess glue that's seeped out. Do the same with the other one. Oh, I didn't put any glue on that one. Oh my good gracious me. Oh, I've got a astilbe all over me. Doesn't matter, it's beautiful. Right, so we've got 2 longer ones. And again, you see the pink here, I want to bring these up here. I want something pretty at the, you know, and white at the back to bounce off of the purple and the pink to bring those alive. So I'm going to place these right there, above, one above that one in white. Just slightly open that. Let me just turn it around so I can see where to place this one, guys. Let's just bring that through here. So then, oh, sure. So then you have that. Right, before I place in these little oddments that I want to place in and around the bottom, I want to place in one of these. I'm not going to use both of them, it'll be too much. So I'm going to, and these push up as well. So you can have these at any height, you can have them all like so, or as they come on the stem like that. So let's just take about 3 off to start with, in case we don't need a lot. So I'm going to just bring some of the foliage down a little bit so I can spread. I think I'm going to keep the white on it. Yes, I am. So let's just push that up. So it's just white astilbe with a bit of heather. And this is going to fill it as well. And I'm going to place those just like that on the 3rd layer. So remember, the back is our 1st layer. So we're going to place this one here, just leaning over. I'm going to place this one under here. As well. I think this one may need to go on a stem as well. So let's take that off. Let me just cut the thicker piece off so it's easier, excuse me, easier to get off. So we'll just dip that and glue this in so it doesn't come off. Then it's that, and it's the white, and then our foliage. So I'm going to have this one slightly higher up, and I'm going to bring that to around the centre underneath these. So it's going to be around here. If I just do that. So you have that. I don't know whether we need any more of those. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm going to bring some out from the side, guys. Again, I do like to have colour around the back and around the back end deep set, you know, set deeper, or you know what I mean, from around here. So you've got a bit of colour here as well, lower down at the back. That's what I meant. Oh my goodness, I can't speak my own language today. So bring that there, and I'm going to do one exactly the same on the other side. And bring a bit of colour here also. So then we've got our little oddments. Doesn't that look pretty? Oh, you can see why the lady likes astilbe. So these again was off of a vine, and I cut more than I needed, and I just placed them to one side. I'm being quite honest, I put them in a pot, a little pot, and just left them there. Some are longer than the others, so I could see the lilac, bring some in and incorporate them in like so. So we'll do that with the longer ones, and a bit of lilac will look nice. Just add it in. I think I've got another one here. Oh, it's going to look lovely on full. I'm going to bring a white around the side here. Got a tall white there. And a tallish one there. So I'll bring a white around this side as well. So it's not just by purple. Like so. And I'm going to get the other white and I'm going to bring that under this purple here, just popping out. So let's just lift that purple one up. Just bend it over like so. Let's see where we can place. I think we need something here. So do I place the white there, because we've got a lot of white this side? Yes. So I'm just going to place a white here. I'm trying to balance out with the colour as well. So we're not just got one colour more one side than the other. So it does end up being balanced. I'm going to place one here as well. So I've got the pink. Excuse me. So the pinks I'm going to. Do I bring them there? See, you can't put these on. Because there was on a vine, you can't put them on picks unless I extend them on a pick by using tape. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the tape. If I just turn that round, guys, I've got my pick. I have my tape attached to a hook here, so it just goes round when I pull on it. I'm going to have my floral pick like so. I will get my green floral tape and I will go round it, round the bottom stem of the astilbe, and I will go at least about 1 inch to 2 inches below the stem of the astilbe on my pick, and then go all the way back up to the top, just to give a little more support. So we'll do that one on this one as well, because sometimes I've noticed when I don't know if it's me because I'm heavy-handed, when I'm making florals, if I just do one layer of the floral tape and then that's it, I notice that it can start to tear. So, and I don't, you know, I don't want that. If I just left it like that, then I notice it starts to get weak. So I like to go back up again and double up with my tape to give it that extra hold. So now we have 2 longer ones, and I'm going to place them here. So we've got something pink, one here and one here at the side. I'm not cutting the stems because I want that height. So I'm going to place that there, slightly taller than the purple. And we'll do the same on this end. So you've got like a row of astilbes across the back. Doesn't that look pretty? Oh, can't you see why the lady loved it? Right, now we've used those, let's get on to a bit of our foliage. I don't want to place any more of these in. I'm going to put these in a bag. So the seeds don't go everywhere. That's it. So with our ivy, I've chosen ivy for the reason being, ivy sticks to walls, it grows up walls, it, you know, brick, it sticks to house bricks, you know, a lot of people, sticks to trees, it sticks to the ground, and plus because I've got these wispy bits and the vine does a very similar thing as well, I chose to use ivy as well, because ivy does a similar thing, and I want to incorporate the same, how can I say, excuse me, the same theme sort of thing, or touch, as what the rest of it does. I know the fern doesn't, but fern doesn't stick to walls, but that just adds just a little bit of interest and texture. But for the main foliage, like our lotus leaves and our vine, that's wispy and going and can stick to walls and trees, hence ivy can. So that's why I've decided to choose ivy. And with this I will place some in like so, and some down the bottom. I haven't got a lot of it out, I don't want to overload, because the leaves are quite broad on this one, this ivy that I've got. So I just want to add in, just to basically fill in that little space. So I'm going to do this in different areas. I'm going to place them in, and then I'll show you how then it brings it, you know, makes it look full. This is only by adding a few bits or sprogs or sprigs of ivy into your arrangement. Oh, I don't know where that one's come from. Oh, we'll place it on this one. Might have come off there. Let me just glue that one back on. Oops. Like so. I'm going to put 2 pieces down. So I want 2 pieces under. And this is what I'm going to show you. I wanted to do this first before I do it, and place in some of my, like I like to do, place it in before I go any further. Look how full that looks now. Doesn't that look wonderful? Beautiful and full. So I've got 2 pieces left, and I want one at the side here and one at the side there. Then I've covered the front, the bottom, and at the side. So that is what we're going to do. So if I just cut that one, place that one in, this side, down there, back again, using the back also, not forgetting. It's like when you, perhaps if you go to lessons, don't forget to do behind the bow. Always place foliage behind your bow. Well, this is a very similar thing. Always make sure you place something around the back, because it isn't, you know, people will view it from all angles. So that is those around there. Doesn't that look wonderful? So I'm going to place in now these smaller ones down here. So 1, same with that. See, I know I put moss on, but you can't see the moss. So some people don't place moss on and just leave the foam bare. I only place moss on because it's basically how I was taught, guys. You know, no disrespect to how anybody else do their work. You know, they all turn out beautiful anyway, no matter how you do it. But I was always taught, if you want to do a professional job, you'll do it properly by doing the finishing, doing those touches. You know, if you want to create something beautiful, and you know, you'll add in those touches that you need, and it shouldn't feel like it's a bother, you know, so to speak. So hence the reason I like to add in things like that, because it's no trouble just adding a little bit of moss in, you know. Again, some people will check. Just manipulate some bits. Oops, I haven't. Oh, I have. That one's come out. Just stick that one back in again. I think I need something there, so I may use two of these. Now, what colours have I got? I don't tell them. Let's have a look. Do I use? No, I don't use purple. The dark pink. So I'm going to place in the darker pink just a couple more of these. Like so. So that's all the astilbe used, and that's your ivy placed in. Now I've got the little bits of foliage left from the fiddlehead fern, which is this, what I pulled off because the stems were too short. I'm just clearing my desk, guys, because I don't like mess. I must be one of the most fussiest florists. There. So I've got these left from the fiddlehead fern because the stem, these was right at the bottom of the stem, and it had only given me about ½ an inch to an inch stem to place in the foam, so I pulled them off and placed them on picks, and I thought, well, I could use those as to add interest, and also because of the colour, because they are flocked and they are lighter, they will also bounce off of things, and plus they look slightly a bit, you know, you could mistake them, I guess, for the heather on the sides. They look very similar, so win-win. Anything that waste not, want not. And these now are going to be placed randomly. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm definitely going to place 2 either side here. Again, not forgetting the sides. So first of all, let's get those in around the sides. I'm not putting the stems on this one. I'm placing them in so they just hang over, as you can see. And I'm doing the same here. So they're just at the back. So we've incorporated something around the back, what we're going to have in front as well. So then now with these, I want to place 2 in here, there. So again, I'm not cutting the stem, I'm going through the ivy. I can't feel the there we are. I'm just placing those so they hang in freely within. I'm going to just do this on this side as well. So I've got 2 there. I'm going to bring, I've got 4 left. So I'm going to bring 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So it's just placing them in. So 1 there, 1 at the side here as well. So just bring that leaf up. We'll have it. And then I'm going to place 2 here in these gaps here. I wouldn't say call them as much gaps, but they are just a little bit of a space. So I'm going to cut these and I'm going to put these at the bottom, because I don't need the stems really long. So I'm going around here and I'm just leaning them over slightly, like so. And I'm going to do that one again, and I'm going under where the ivy is. So the fern doesn't look like it's by itself. So like that, guys. Now if you wish to add a bow, you can add just a single bow. Doesn't that look pretty? Doesn't that look pretty? Let's just fluff it. It's just an arrangement of astilbe. That's all it is. Let's just bring that up, face that in. You could add, because you've got like your higher point of your floral here, your lotus leaves, you could add a small bow there. I'll get a little ribbon, but I'm not going to overdo it with a really big, powerful, thick ribbon. Now I've got to take into consideration the design. So because it's like a vintage type arrangement, and also a worn, I've got this, I've had this for ages, it's like a shabby chic ribbon. So if I just dovetail the end like so, and again I don't want it big. So if you see, it's got those colours, and that would look lovely. Just a small little ribbon with a small tail end, probably just 2-3 loops, whichever, or even just 1 loop, and then twist it. So then you've got that effect. Let me just get, I'm going to see what it's like, guys. If it doesn't look right, then I'll take it off. I am like that. So if I just place that out there that way, so I can do the bow. Look at the mess. Aren't I messy? So you can do this on a bow maker, or you could do it, or you know, by hand. Now sometimes I think, do I show you how to do it on a bow maker, or do people have a bow maker, or would they prefer to do it by hand? Sometimes I never know. I think a lot of people do suffer with arthritis, hence the reason, I mean I do, so hence the reason I tend to do it on a bow maker. I don't know whether to I could show it you by hand and then undo it and then do it on a bow maker, but is that what you really want me to do? I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to do it by hand. So I'm doing just perhaps a 6-inch. Do I do a 6-inch? Yeah, 6-inch tail end. Then I gather it and pleat it together in between my thumb and finger, like so. Hey, I've got nail polish on, guys, on my stubbies. I say stubbies, guys, if you're new to this channel, because my nails are really short, because in this job I can't keep long nails, they just break. So on my stubbies, and it's green, dark forest green, because green is my favourite colour. I just thought I'd let you know that bit of information. Anyway, so then once you've done that, you go under. So you decide on how long you want it first. I could go with it only, I don't want it too big so it's drooping over the flowers, so I could go to 8-inch and have it 4-inch. So you go to fold it over, gather it and pleat it in between your thumb and finger again. Once you've done that, you'll have a 4-inch loop. Twist. So the pattern now is up towards the sky. Measure 8-inch again. Gather, go under, and then pinch it in between your thumb and finger. So if you want to check if your bows are both the same size, place your fingers in the loops, and then just bring them together. And if your fingers match at the top, you've got both of your loops are the same. And then twist it down, because I want to bring this down. So I could then now check, and 2 look nice, but if I did 3, would that look better? So measure it on your mat again. I'm just going to try it with 3 and see what 3 looks like. Pinch in between your thumb and finger. Don't hold too tight, guys, because you know it will have a tendency to start aching. Oh, I don't know now. 3. Let's try 4. I'm going to go 4, then I'm going to go 5, then I'm going to go 6. So I've twisted it, so I'm going to go under. Let's just straighten that. Oh, I haven't twisted it. No, sorry. Twist. 8-inch. Go in between your thumb and finger. That's right. Yeah, 4 look nice. So then I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut it just there to start with, and then that's smaller than that one. I've got my I'm using a cable tie, so I've got to place my cable tie under my thumb, but I'm going to place this cable tie across the back under my finger, so that is the back at a horizontal position, and this cable tie at the front is vertical. So bring the vertical one around the back and then fasten it together. Pull. I don't pull too tight to start with, because I like to arrange my bow and make sure that it sits how I'd like, and I bring my tail ends down to the bottom. If it's pulled too tight, you can't manipulate your tail ends to go downwards. They will just stay in that position. So hence the reason I don't pull the cable tie tight to start with. So I've got this tail end on the top. I want it bringing down a bit further, so because I've not pulled tight on it, I'm able to do that. Just make sure my loops are still the same. Yeah. So now I'm happy with that. Bring that one there. I pull. So then now I can fluff away without any of it moving. And I have that. So I'll dovetail this as well. So I fold it in half, and the half that you've folded, like so, this side that's folded over, put your scissors there and cut at an angle where the open side is to the far corner, like a diagonal cut. Once you've done that, you open and you have that effect. So now I have that. Let's see if that's a bit longer. I may need to cut that a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to cut that a little bit more, guys. Oops. So now I will cut off this cable tie that I've pulled tight around my bow off. And now people will say, well, I can still see your mechanics. So you can do two things. Either put a bit of floral there to cover it, or get another piece of ribbon and go around. So I want to just see, I don't want another piece of that. I may get a purple. That's pretty. So let's just get another little purple one. I'm hoping I've got some tiny purple. Oh guys, I have. I knew I had. Now this one is silk ribbon. I do have silk ribbon, what isn't wired. I do have more wire ribbon. It was when I did real flowers, I had a lot of silk ribbon. You know, but when I started doing my artificial, I bought a lot of wired ribbon in. So this isn't wired. This is just for wrapping. So I'm going to place this, because it is tiny, it's not very thick, to cover my mechanics in the center. I am going to go through there. So I'm going to cut a little piece off like so. Once I've placed that, and this is 1/2 inch thick. You can fold it in half if you like and place it like that. So, or you can keep it as it is like that. I'm going to keep it as it is. So I'm going to bring it round the back. Let me just move that out of the way. I'm going to tie a knot. Over my cable tie, tie another knot just to make it really tight. And as you can see, I have covered the cable tie at the front. So then with this, I will cut, leave a little bit, and cut that off. So that is our mechanics hidden. Doesn't that look wonderful? So then just flip our bow back up. I think I've got that one wrong way round, yeah. That one's supposed to be down. That's better. so. So then we get our arrangement, and with this cable tie still being attached to it, I will get that and I'm going to attach it around here. I think there, let's have a look before I decide. I may need to cut the tail ends, or do I attach it onto that one? Yeah, I think I need to go up this up here. I just place it in. Let me just turn it round. I'm going to cut the tail ends again because they are in the way of my beautiful flowers. So I'm going to have small tail ends. That one down, that one down. Just fluff them up. And then you have that. Let me now pull that on that tighter. I'll sort that out once I can see around. Now I'm going to cut this cable tie here. And because again you'll be able to see the mechanics, so now some people don't like to see the mechanics at the back either. So again you can do one of two things. You could either glue a piece of a ribbon over it, you know, to make it look like it's part of it, or you could get a leaf, something that you've been using from out of your arrangement or your, like so, and glue that on, or take a leaf off and just place it over. So you can also cut a leaf. I'll cut a couple. So I may need more than one, because I can see it here and I can also see the mechanics here, and I don't like that either. So I've got a spatula. I haven't switched my glue gun on, so I'm just going to place some glue on the back of this leaf. I'm going to place that on top like so. So that's hiding that one. But then at the same time I want to make it look like it's part of the design and it's not something that I've just stuck a leaf on. So then I bring that like so. And at the moment I'm still not happy because it just looks like I've stuck a leaf on. So then I'm going to use something else. Where's the scissors? I've got a bit of that, so I will stick that on under there to that leaf to make it look like it's growing up from the back. So I will also do that. There's a bit of glue on there. Place that on there. Glue that leaf from the vine over the top. Now that has hidden our mechanics from the back also. So we have covered all areas and made it look properly done, that we've thought about it, we've put a lot of effort into it, we've covered anything that customer may think is showing, and we've made it look pretty. And that little vintage bow just adds a little extra touch to our arrangement. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to sit up a bit more higher. It's better. It keeps flopping. I don't want it to go too far over. So if I put a bit of pressure on it, like so. So that, guys, is our request tutorial for an arrangement just with foliage and astilbe. Isn't that pretty? Now again, like I say, I've never done an arrangement just with astilbe. I've added it in to arrangements, but not just by itself. And it was, I say a challenge, it wasn't a challenge for me, it was an excitement. It was exciting to do something that I've thought, why have I never thought of that? You see, this is why I love requests, because sometimes I don't think of things and customers do, or subscribers do, and then it makes me realise, oh yeah, why didn't I ever think of that? So everybody's got different ideas and I love it. So that again would look beautiful. Absolutely, it is beautiful. I do love it. It is absolutely beautiful, and it would look lovely, especially on a nice cottagey garden, on a summer house, in the house, you know, in an entrance hallway, on a big cabinet. It could even look lovely in a bedroom, above the headboard, you know, or anything like that. Or again, like I say, on the wall outside, on your fencing outside, to, you know, give it that nice little touch. It'd look beautiful anyway. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I really did enjoy that. And so, oh, what have I dropped? Oh my goodness, I always drop something in here. Oh, I can see. It's my still my picks. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And again, if you have it just astilbe and you're not sure what to do with it, you know, you don't have to have a container like I've got. You know, you can just use a small oval shaped container, you know, or a plastic oak container. Just put a bit of weight at the bottom, a few pebbles at the bottom of your container, and then put your foam on top, just so it's weighty and it doesn't fall over. This is very weight heavy, so I knew it wouldn't fall. And do something like that, or have it in a round container and do a round display of astilbe in different colours, or one colour. You know, again, I've got yellows as well, but I didn't want to incorporate yellows because it would have taken, you would have noticed the yellow, because it would have been the only one colour what was going to be bright. I wanted to keep it all subtle pinks, purples and whites. So again, I think that has turned out absolutely lovely. And add a bit of ivy if you've got vine as well, or if you've got the trailing ivy, attach it to something, you know, place it on a pick, or have your ivy coming from the bottom so it's hanging. If you're placing it on a wall, hang it like you would a hanging basket. You could you know, use any hanging elements, not just ivy. You could have hanging ruscus, you could have vines hanging down. You know, you could even incorporate, if you wanted a bit of floral, some like things like morning glory that hang down from like a basket, or wisteria. That would look nice, wisteria. Oh, wisteria would look lovely with that, especially if it was hanging. Or you could even do this in a hanging basket and have it in a hanging basket. What a grand idea. So you got all my mind ticking now, Lucy. So again guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a go, maybe in different colours or something else, you know, or like I say, all the shape containers, and have fun doing it, you know. Or if you don't want to use astilbe, just use one sort of flower of many colours, what you know of, maybe a daisy, but use all different coloured daisies, you know, things like that, wildflowers with a bit of vine, anything. I'm sure it'll look beautiful, guys. So please subscribe, share and like to the world, to your family, friends, colleagues, aunts, uncles, mums, dads, grannies, granddads, anybody, sisters, brothers, whomever, and have a wonderful day. And take care, guys. I will do you a close-up. Take care, God bless, and stay safe. I love you all, and thank you so much for all you new subscribers, for your wonderful messages, and all the way from Texas and places like that, Ohio. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Canada as well, lovely. So have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I love you all. God bless. Bye bye for now. Right guys, let's get a nice close-up of it. I'm going to take the cable off of this first. So let's... Oh gosh, that wasn't... Look at that close-up. Doesn't that look wonderful? So, there's your little bow that we've done, your little vintage type bow or shabby chic bow with your lotus leaves. Now I know what they were. Your oriental ruscus, like a vine. You've got your Himalayan maidenhair fern. You've got your, let's have a look, your ivy. I'm going to try and go through the foliage first. You've got your fiddlehead fern, what I call curly swirly fern. Your bits of my favourite silver dollar eucalyptus, and you've also got some leaves here from the fiddlehead fern what are flocked, and then you have your pink seeded astilbe, which is the darker pink. There's your baby pink, and then you have your deep purple, and then you have your deep purple there with the lilac. And then you have your white here also. And then you have the one here where it's got a bit of heather, like a mauvey colour, a vintage pink as well. And again, you've also got some more white, but it's seeded, the little one there, look, in the corner. And again, at the back, or side should I say, I've incorporated colour around the side. So it's not just at the front, so people can see, and I've placed in the ivy at the side as well, with the fiddlehead fern foliage as well, and a bit of the fern here and the ruscus, and it's got that going around the back, and there is our bit of foliage covering where the bow is tied with the cable tie. And then I have gone round this side also, filling in the side as well with our beautiful astilbe, and then back to the front, and then you have so. Now isn't that wonderful? So glorious. Thank you, Lucy. If anybody else has got any requests, guys, of something that I may not have done and you'd like to see, just let us know, and I'm sure I will give it a go. So all the best, guys. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Keep healthy. God bless. Take care. Bye bye for now.